What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Gervonta Tank Davis. Undefeated world champion Gervonta Tank Davis could face 7 years in prison after a Lamborghini hit and run. Now, Davis, who is considered among the brightest stars of the new generation of boxers, was indicted Monday in Baltimore, Maryland on 14 counts of related to a high-speed accident last year, which reportedly came shortly after he'd been celebrating his 26th birthday at a nightclub. Okay, among the charges being against Davis, including a failure to remain at the scene of an accident, which led to bodily injury, failure to give assistance to an injured person, as well as driving with both revoked and suspended license. If found guilty of all charges, Davis could be facing maximum prison time in excess of 7 years. Damn. Now, these prosecutors in the case have indicated that they have possession of surveillance footage which shows Davis' Lamborghini collide directly into a store's fence, and the driver was allegedly identified by witness Gervonta Tank Davis. They continue alleging that Davis and a passenger were seen on a video gathering items from inside the Lamborghini before transporting them to another car and escaping the scene. The defendant and the unidentified female passenger were captured on camera leaving from the scene of the Camaro, prosecutors announced. Damn. It says if he's looking at a 7 max, that means realistically he could probably be looking at 1 to 5. People with higher point scores are the ones who typically get the max. I see him dragging this trial out for a while and getting off with something light, couple programs, and probation. So, this is what's going on with Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, when I first heard this morning, because I was taking a flight, that's why I didn't report it, I thought to myself, like, okay, he was involved. Involved doesn't mean you were the one. But now reading right into it and reading what's really happened, it was him driving. So if he was the passenger, or that it was identified that he was the one that was driving, though, it's tough on him. And then see, he's already had another little fender bender with some domestic, scuffle when he snatched his baby moms up or whatnot in a basketball game. That adds to this whole thing. So it doesn't look good. See, you have that dealing with, hey, I made a choice to leave the scene of the crime. Now, this is what gets me about this whole thing, though. He collided directly into a store's fence, and the driver was allegedly identified by witness Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, well, reading this, though, I don't see him hurting anyone. It would be different if he hit someone and he left. That's a totally different situation, but that's like property damage, if anything. And I knowing what we know about Gervonta Tank Davis, he likes to drink. He likes to party. He's young. He's rich, okay? He's successful, and it's his birthday on top of that. Yeah, he shouldn't have been driving. He should have been in a damn Uber, but, telling a champion of the world not to do certain things is sometimes very, very, very hard to do, okay? Now, this could have been worse than, this could have been like an Errol Spence situation, but you understand, birds of a feather flock together. See, he left the scene of the crime because he didn't want to be or be labeled like Errol Spence. He was probably just as drunk. That's why he left. Okay? You leave the scene of the crime when you leave because you don't want cops to catch you when they get there. You don't want them to see the state you're in. So I think that's more of what this was about. Because, according to the state attorney, Marilyn Mosby, 4 people were injured in the crash. It gets better. But they are expected to fully recover. Fortunately, the victims in the case were able to survive this alleged hit-and-run collision with recoverable injuries despite the potential for a far worse scenario. Wow. My office will continue to do our part to hold reckless drivers accountable when their harmful actions put innocent lives in jeopardy. Davis, whose career is 24-0, had his career blighted by several outside of the ring transgressions. See, that's what I'm talking about. This other outside of the ring stuff. Now, what I didn't know is, hey, 4 people are injured in this situation. So I think this is how this is going to go. Me counterpunching this. Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to get any jail time because nobody was like hurt. You didn't have any like broken bone. I mean, injuries, but we don't know what those are. So that could be, anywhere from scrapes, bruises, bumps, or whatever. He's going to end up paying these 4 people off. He's going to end up paying them off, and then hopefully they can drop the charges. But then here's the thing. The problem is if the county decides to pick those charges back up, he could be looking at that. But I don't see them doing that to Gervonta Tank Davis. Again, I just think he was drunk. He was partying. Everything he does now, it's going to be a situation like Adrian Broner. If something happens to Errol Spence again, it's going to be the same shit. These guys get into a trend of getting into shit. They have to see. Floyd didn't have these type of problems. He had domestic problems, but he didn't drink like that. So everybody wants to be like Floyd, but nobody wants to be like Floyd. You see what I'm saying? Like, these guys, and they're in that same clique, mind you. Broner, Spence, Davis, all these guys have known to get full. Now, Adrian Broner said, hey, he's out of that life or whatever, more power to him. But as far as Errol Spence, I hear he's drinking back again, But, I mean, he just kind of sounds drunk. I don't even know if he really is drunk. He just got a lazy twang. He's from the South. But Gervonta Tank Davis, you can hear when he's inebriated. You can hear it, and he was probably that same way when he ran into those people. Okay, because if it is, come on, all the signs. Hey, I was partying. It was my birthday. I mean, who doesn't drink on their birthday? Counterpunch. So, I don't know. I mean, if it's one of these things, if you look further through this, I will leave the source below so you guys can check this out. See, now they're bringing up these other things, the other transgressions. It's a picture of him snatching his baby moms up. They're going to bring that into account. Once you start and you get in the system of doing something, especially if he's a celebrity, because a lot of times, like they did Floyd Mayweather, they will use you as an example. Now, they don't have to lock him up, but they can very well choose to lock him up depending on what type of judge you have. Okay, because they are the ones that overall will make the decision on how much he gets or whatever. But yeah, this is very serious because, see, it's up to the jury and he's been caught on tape. See, that's hard to defy. It'd be different if these guys seen you do it. Nah, that wasn't me. Somebody looked like me. I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 light-skinned dudes with tats in the Maryland, D.C. area, right? So he could get away with that. But someone has footage that they can look at that footage and gauge who that was. And if they determine that that was him, oh, he's in trouble. And it would be sad because even if they choose to give this man a year, that's going to lead to more problems, more debt, and on top of him really not fighting opposition, then he comes back into the sport. Then that just prolongs his progress and success as a fighter. This guy's a child, a father. It's not a good thing. Now, see, the charge with domestic battery over courtside manhandling of ex-girlfriend. That wasn't really a big deal, people. I mean, he was pissed off at her. I don't know what he did after he left, but he did snatch her up. But that's an eye opener to anybody that's looking, a spectator that's looking from afar. So he did snatch her up. But that is not what this even is about. This is about another issue of a hit and run situation where he left 4 people jacked up. And the thing is, if he's brought on these charges, and it's basically up to them what they want to do with him. Hopefully he doesn't get the Floyd Mayweather treatment by getting him to be locked up. Even if it's 90 days, that's better than 1 to 5 or 1 to 3, but more than likely, hopefully he'll get probation and things of that nature. But then they'll take into account on why he ran. Because they're going to want to know an explanation. They ain't just going to, oh, well, you ran. No, he chose to ran, but they're going to wonder, why did you run if you injured people in a damn car with your car? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Gervonta Tank Davis and what do you think his fate will be? Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.